Hey, are you a business owner, entrepreneur, or professional? If so, we want you to apply to be a featured guest on our show. My name is Adam Torres, and I host the Mission Matters series of podcasts. I've recorded over 3,000 episodes, and we are just getting started. How do you know if you'd be a good guest to be on the show? Well, only one way to find out, and that's to apply, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We want guests that have a story to tell, guests with a brand, a product, or a service that can benefit my audience of listeners. If this sounds like you, go to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. I'd love to talk to you and get to know more about your story. Again, head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, now let's get into the show.
Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Gloria Manchester on the line, and she's a president and coach over at Leadership Education Action Programs, also known as LEAP. Gloria, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right,
Good
Gloria.
To be here. I love Mission Matters. That's a great name.
I am speaking of great names, LEAP, Leadership Education Action Programs. I'm excited to get into today's topic. So when I was reading the show notes, I'm like, LEAP to prosperity. Who doesn't want to do that? I guess just to get us kicked off, when did you come up with the idea of teaching about prosperity to women as your mantra? Like, how did you come up with this whole thing?
About 5 years ago, I was working on myself in prospering. So I was thinking my own prosperity. And so I thought, I wonder if anyone knows how to measure their prosperity. I mean, what is prosperity really in the larger sense? So I developed an assessment called Prosperity IQ, PIQ, and I got it trademarked. And the assessment, it covers 4 areas of life, which is emotional health, physical, relational, and financial. So she's an MFT, a therapist that works with me on programs, and we decided we'd list these questions, and these questions would score people, basically women, because the programs are for women, and score them in how they saw prosperity. And the answers and then we set out to send out, send it out as an assessment for women to fill out. And then we realized how women see prosperity, how so much different, than men do.
And so let's go further into that. I mean, what does lead to prosperity mean? I mean, and how do so you mentioned that, women see prosperity maybe different than men do. Like, obviously I'm a man, so I'd like to know kind of your vantage point and what you've seen, like how those differences are, because I think it'd be good for our audience.
Yes, well, men think prosperity as wealth a good percentage of the time because men are more object-oriented than women. Women think of prosperity in the sense of security when it comes to money, more so, and also relationships. If my relationships are working, then I'm prosperous. If my health is good, if my mental health is good, if I can master my emotions. So it has a wider gamut of scoring it. So men, not that you don't say that men aren't happy with relationships, because we know, right? Men who are married are live longer. But that's kind of like the women don't think of it so much as making money, although there's some that do, but they think of it as, if I do what I love and I make money, then my life is good.
That's a big nuance. So how does your work really help women in general? I mean, whether it's overcoming challenges, whether it's taking their careers to the next level or their happiness to the next level, I mean, how are you helping people?
Right, elevating their lives. Well, I'm a professionally certified coach in several disciplines, and so created models for a group. Most of my coaching is done in a group because a group is partnering, and I believe partnering is get a very strong sense of ourselves through each other. And so on the partnering, they come into a group and they choose a partner that they're going to work with, and I do the coaching. I have a model for it. And men, women, we all have blind spots, right? But we don't see our own blind spots. That's why they're called blind spots. So when a coach it has a different vantage point. That's what coaching is. It's just listening and then watching to see where they stop themselves. Where did they sabotage themselves? So we go through that process of self-sabotage. I have a class called self-sabotage versus self-sabotage from self-sabotage to self-acceptance. So as we learn to accept ourselves and we hear what it is that other people are seeing, others like coaches, that somebody we respect and trust are seeing in us that isn't working, then it's an aha, and they get to really take a look at it, and then we can strategize how to overcome it. So that's how we transform.
What are typically the right types of women you found have been a good fit to work with you and LEAP? So is there specific niches, stage in life, age? I mean, because of course I'm going to, at the end of this, give you an opportunity to leave your website or contact information, whatever you choose to leave. And I want to make sure that the right types of women follow up. So what's typically a good fit?
Typically, because we're looking at women that we elevating their lives, and younger women with young kids, they're preoccupied with all of the raising of children and all that, and usually have a career as well as raising children. I did this myself, but mostly probably women between 38 and 68 are our market. That's what we build programs around. So premenopausal women, as we might say, and then through a time when they have empty nests and they want to find their purpose again. So that's what we build the programs around, and that's the women that come to us.
That's awesome. And what does a typical engagement look like in terms of length of time, like the programs themselves? Is it ongoing? Is it a set amount of time? Give us a flavor for what the process looks like, just in general.
Yeah, typically the group coaching process that's topic driven. So let's just say we're working from self-sabotage to self-acceptance. It would be a group of women, 8 to 12, maybe no more than 12, and because they're intimate groups, and it would go over 8 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the program, but this one, 8 weeks, and there's 4 live sessions on Zoom, and then there's a one-on-one session with coach during that time to drive the message for them, and then they work with their partners, so in between sessions with assignments. So it's an exciting time because you're self-exploring, thinking, okay, what is it I need to do now? It's very insightful. And then we take action. So always followed by action.
That's awesome. So Gloria, first off, it's been great having you on the show, and I'm really excited to bring your program, so LEAP, to my audience. So if somebody's listening to this and they want to learn more and to connect with you and your team, what's the best way for them to do that? So
the website for the women's community, which is how we manage all these programs, is leaptoprosperityforwomen.com. And it's a group coaching community for women embracing a healthy, meaningful, and thriving life. So it expands on that prosperity meaning.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Gloria, appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing over at LEAP. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you learned a lot. If you did, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We definitely want you to come back and be a return listener or viewer, depending on if you're watching this on YouTube. And Gloria, thanks again for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.